Have you ever noticed how every time people start losing hope in XRP, something massive comes out in the background that changes the entire picture? That's exactly what's happening right now. And yes, I know, the bears are already laughing, saying nothing is happening with XRP. It's dead money. But if you stick with me through this video, you'll see the opposite. In fact, I'm going to break down 3 very important developments that show us where XRP is heading. And by the end, I almost guarantee you'll feel a lot more bullish than when you started listening. Hey guys, welcome back to Whiteboard Crypto Update. In today's video, we will talk about XRP Future. So be sure to stay focused, as you surely don't want to miss out on this. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications by hitting the bell so you never miss any of our uploads. Please remember, this is not a financial advice video. But before we get to the good stuff, let's be fair and start with the bad news, because we can't ignore what's happening in the broader market. Yesterday, I mentioned that we were just a short time away from Jerome Powell making a statement, and honestly, I'm not too comfortable with what's coming. Every time Powell speaks, the markets get nervous. Either he does one of his nothing burger speeches that move the markets nowhere, or he drops a hawkish tone, which usually means bad news for assets like stocks and crypto. And sure enough, just today, one of the Federal Reserve members came out and said she does not believe there's a case for a September rate cut, especially after the latest economic data. Let's pause and think about that. Remember when we got weak economic numbers a little while ago? The markets popped the very next day. Investors felt optimistic, but then came slightly higher inflation figures, and since then, momentum has been fading. Not in a catastrophic way, but in this slow, grinding decline. Now, if Powell doubles down with hawkish statements, we could absolutely see another dip across the board. And this is important for XRP holders because, yes, a dip in the market would drag XRP down in the short term. But, and this is the critical part, it could also create a golden buying opportunity before a sharp recovery. I want to be clear. I never said we'd see a massive rally within 48 hours. That's not how markets move. But I did say we're at a turning point, and volatility is almost guaranteed. The short-term turbulence is not the story. The bigger story is what's happening behind the scenes for XRP right now, which is why you should hear me out till the end. So, let's shift from the bad to the truly exciting. Today, the Federal Reserve released a piece explaining how having direct access to a Fed master account can streamline instant payments for participants like Cross River. Now, if that name doesn't ring a bell, let me connect the dots. Cross River was Ripple's very first banking partner all the way back in 2014. Yes, 10 years ago, Ripple partnered with Cross River Bank to enable real-time international payments. Fast forward to now, and here we are again, seeing Cross River mentioned in connection with the Federal Reserve's instant payment system. Do you see the pattern? Ripple has been planting seeds for years, and they're beginning to bloom. And it doesn't stop there. CME Group, the largest derivatives exchange in the world, just reported record-breaking numbers for XRP Futures. On August 18th, they reached an all-time high in open interest with 6,000 contracts. That's not retail traders, my friends. That's institutional participation at scale. Let's break down the numbers. More than 2.25 million contracts have been added, representing over $9 billion in traded volume. That equals more than 212 million XRP in equivalent exposure. If institutions were ignoring XRP like the mainstream headlines suggest, these numbers wouldn't exist. Instead, they're climbing, which tells you exactly where the real money wants to be positioned. And if that's not convincing enough, let's talk about WisdomTree. You probably know them already. They're a massive asset manager with ETFs across global markets. They were among the firms that filed for an XRP ETF, and now they've released a statement positioning XRP above Bitcoin and Ethereum as a preferred play for institutions. Think about how significant that is. An ETF issuer is literally saying that XRP offers a better tactical opportunity than Bitcoin or Ethereum. Why? Because of how it's structured. CME-listed futures allow institutions to get exposure to XRP without relying on offshore exchanges. That means more trust, more compliance, and more accessibility. And when an asset is easier for institutions to access, that's when the big money starts flowing in. To take it even further, the report from WisdomTree described XRP as an optimal onshore tactical play for institutional investors. That's not retail hype. That's Wall Street-style wording telling their clients where to put money. And in the same breath, we've got analysts predicting XRP could one day touch 4 figures. Yes, $1,000 XRP. Is that going to happen tomorrow? No. But the fact that such projections are being made in institutional circles tells you just how seriously this asset is being viewed. Let me put this together for you. We've got Ripple's first bank partner, Cross River, now linked with the Federal Reserve's instant payments. We've got CME Group, the biggest derivatives exchange in the world, setting records on XRP futures volume and open interest. We've got WisdomTree filing for an XRP ETF and actively ranking it above BTC and ETH for institutions. Do you see the picture forming? Meanwhile, the short-term noise like Powell's speech or temporary market sell-offs is exactly that, noise. As Ripple CTO David Schwartz once said, XRP isn't a bank account. It's a strategic weapon. That's how institutions see it. That's why they're quietly accumulating while most of retail is being scared away by manipulated headlines and small corrections. And yes, I know many of you are feeling fatigued. I get it. I've been holding XRP for years too, and sometimes it feels like we're stuck in the mud. But you need to understand that fatigue is part of the game. The institutions want you out. They thrive on discouraging retail investors, shaking them out at low prices, and then riding the next massive rally. What we're living through right now is a classic example of accumulation. They're coordinating dips, headlines, and FUD, all while setting up infrastructure, ETFs, futures contracts, Fed-linked systems that will make XRP central to the next phase of financial markets. That's not speculation. That's exactly what the data is showing us. So while tomorrow may bring some volatility, depending on Powell's tone, the reality is far bigger than one press conference. The real signal is that institutions are telling us loud and clear where they're placing their bets, and that bet is XRP. Well, guys, that's all we have for you today. What are your thoughts on XRP? Get involved and let us know in the comments down below. Thank you.